I can pull up YouTube. Okay, so that, yeah, let us know. That's it. Um, it was 2 and 34. All right. First and foremost, we would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, whom rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutation, and hopefully they got there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. All right, I'm the brother Yashamaf. To my right, the brother Yarum Yashar. All right, we have the GMS Mississippi branch coming with another, all right, afternoon lesson. Okay, dealing with the Greeks that sought Yahweh Shah. Okay, and it's inspired by a scripture. It's in the book of St. John, the 12th chapter, and we're going to get the understanding, okay, of these things. All right, and there's a prophecy in the book of Second Ezra, all right, the second chapter, 31st verse, and we're gonna get, and we're gonna show you that prophecy fulfilled and what does it mean, all right, according to the scriptures, man. Okay, because for the longest, the Bible, has been used, all right, as a universal doctrine, okay, to gather all people, everyone's equal love and this false utopia, but the Bible doesn't, the narrative of the Bible doesn't deal with all people, okay, and we're going to prove it. So you get there, brother?
This is Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 34.
Yep.
And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen,
Yep.
that hear and understand, look for your shepherd.
Look for your shepherd. O heathen that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. Okay, and we're going to go into the only nation that has a sheep and shepherd relationship, according to the Bible. All right, that has a sheep and shepherd relationship with, all right, the Heavenly Father. Okay, through His Son Yahweh, man. Go ahead.
He shall give you everlasting rest.
Yep.
For he is nigh at hand, that shall come in the end of the world.
Yeah, He is nigh at hand that should come at the end of the world. And we're at the end of the world. But before He will come in the end, He will come, all right, the first time to be that sacrifice. Okay, and when He came, you had Greeks, okay, that sought Yahweh, the heathen, what was considered heathen. Okay, so let's get that in St. John 12, when that's fulfilled, okay, when Yahweh was walking the earth, and it's going to be fulfilled when He returns. Okay, it's going to be fully fulfilled, man, when He returns, man. Just like Solomon was a prelude to a kingdom, okay, well, this happened during the time of Yahweh, which was the prelude of what would happen in these times, because we was all considered heathens and Greeks by our culture, and we're gonna prove it. All right, so let's get that in hold on, St. John 12 and 20.
This is St. John chapter 12, verse 20. And there were certain Greeks among them that came up to worship at the feast.
Yep.
The same came therefore to Philip, which was of Bethsaida.
Yeah, so it was Greeks that came up to the feast. Go ahead.
The same came before the same came therefore to Philip, which was of Bethsaida of Galilee.
Yep.
And desired him, saying, Sir, we will see Yahweh.
We will see Yahweh. That was the heathen that heard and understand, that was looking for their shepherd.
Right.
Now you will read it and you'll think, when you think of Greeks, due to Esau's media and his movies, you think of an Edomite in a toga, okay, with his arm out, nipple out and shit. Okay? No, man, these were Jakes, man. Because you go into that word Greek and okay, the word Greek, all right, in St. John 12 and 20 is Helen. Now let's get that word Hellenist, okay?
This is the word Hellenist on Google. It says a specialist in the study of Greek language, literature, culture, or history, or an admirer of the Greek culture and civilization.
An admirer of the Greek culture of civilization. Go ahead.
A person who adopted the Greek customs, language, and culture during the Hellenistic period, especially a Hellenized Jew.
Especially a Hellenized Jew. Okay? So between 2nd Ezra 2 and 34, their prophecy, and what happened here with Yahawashi, there's events that happened that Hellenized our people, that made them to be Greeks and heathens, looked at as Greeks and heathens by those of the circumcision. Okay? So let's get that account. Let's get 2nd Ezra, not 2nd Ezra, 2nd Maccabees chapter 4. Let's go to verse 8. Okay? Remember, Hellen is someone what that admired, okay, that followed after what? Greek custom. Okay, what was Jake doing between the time of 2nd Ezra, when that prophecy, 2nd Ezra 2 and 34, I'll read it again real quick while the brother, okay, get ready to bring out this account. So you go to 2nd Ezra. All right, 2nd Ezra 2 and 34 says, and therefore I say unto you, all right, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, all right, look for your shepherd, he shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand, that shall come in the end of the world. Now, those Greeks came seeking Yahawashi. They was considered Greeks during the time of Ezra. Okay, this was addressed to Israelites. But now, what happened? Why people started becoming heathens and Greeks? Let's get that in 2nd Maccabees 4 and 8.
The 2nd Maccabees chapter 4 verse 8. It says, promising unto the king by intercession 360 talents of silver, and another revenue 80 talents.
Let's start at 7. You might get see. Let's see if you say Jason name. Yep. Get the context. Yep.
This is 2nd Maccabees 4 verse 7. But after the death of Seleucus and Antiochus, called Epiphanes, took the kingdom, Jason, the brother of Onus, labored underhand to be high priest.
So you had Ananias. He was a righteous high priest. Which we went into Ananias when we went into the duty of the priesthood. You know how he was a righteous high priest. But he had a brother that admired the ways of the Greek. So what happened when Seleucus died? Okay, a certain king of the Syrian Empire, all right, the Greco-Syrian Empire, all right, he died. And then you had the infamous Antiochus Epiphanes coming in power. And what did he want to do? He wanted to Hellenize and force Jake into Greek culture. And you had some of our people that already admired the Greek culture. Okay, so this is Jason, the brother of Ananias, underhanded to become high priest, and this is what he did. Go ahead.
Promising to the king by intercession 300 and 60 talents of silver.
Yep.
And another revenue 80 talents.
So he wanted to pay to be the high priest. Go ahead.
Besides this, he promised to assign 150 more if he might have license to set him up a place for exercise.
Yep.
And for the training up of youth in the fashions of the heathen.
Yep.
And to write them of Jerusalem by the name of Antiochus.
To train them in the fashion of what?
To train up the youth in the fashions of the heathen.
In the fashion of the heathen. O you heathens that hear and understand, seek ye your shepherd. These are Israelites that he's training in the way of the heathens. Okay, go ahead.
Which when the king had granted, and he had gotten into his hand the rule, he forthwith brought his own nation to Greekish fashion.
To what fashion?
Greekish
fashions. So those Greeks that was coming to see Yahawashi, we got to keep hammering it home to get the understanding to the Greekish fashion. This is St. John 12 and 20, and there were certain Greeks among them that came up to worship at the feast. Okay, those Greeks that was what? Hellenized. Those Israelites that was Hellenized. Okay, You see? They became Greeks by what? Culture. Not by nationality, by culture. And they was coming back through what? YAHAWASHI. They was hearing about the miracles. They was hearing the doctrines and the teachings going out. And they was coming to see. Okay? Go ahead.
And the royal privileges granted of special favor to the Jews by the means of John, the father of Epolamus,
Parliament, yep.
the water, who went ambassador to Rome for amenity and aid.
Yeah, so that's going into the Maccabees going to get aid from the Romans. But you see what Jason did. He trained up the youth in the heathen way, and he say what? He favored the Greekish fashion above all. So let's read that definition for Hellenist again.
This is definition for Hellenist: a specialist in the study of Greek language, literature, culture, or history, or an admirer of the Greek culture and civilization. A person who adopted the Greek customs, language, and culture during the Hellenistic period, especially a Hellenized Jew.
Especially a Hellenized Jew that okay, that admired the Greek culture, man. Okay, now let's get Isaiah 42:6. Okay, and this is speaking of Yahawashi. Okay, how he was going to be what? Light to the Gentiles. And then we're going to go into how the Lord raised up prophets in the spirit of Yahawashi. There will be a light to the Gentiles in this time. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 42, verse 6.
Yep.
I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thy hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people.
And will give thee for a covenant, okay, of the people. That's Yahawashi. Because he was sacrificed, all right, for what? The new covenant. Okay? So we're in that grace period until we get into the new covenant, but the sacrifice for the new covenant has already been made through the sacrifice of Yahawashi. He was given for what? That new covenant. Matter of fact, real quick, get Matthew 26 and 26. You know, just to show that this was Yahawashi. You see?
This is Matthew chapter 26, verse 26. And as they were eating, Yahushua took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, "Take, eat, this is my body." And he took the cup. And gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, "Drink ye all of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins."
This is my blood for the what? New Testament or covenant, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. Okay, which covers those heathens and those Greeks as well. Those of the circumcision that believe, and also those of the heathens in the Greekish fashion that believe. You see? And through that belief, what's promised? Everlasting life. Okay? So let's go back to the Isaiah 42.
This is Isaiah chapter 42, verse 6 again. I, the Lord, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thy hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles.
A light. Remember we talked about that light last night. Okay, that light was pretty much giving clarity. Yahawashi was a walking example of how the Most High wanted us to be in the earth, how he wanted us to move in the earth.
How to have a perfect relationship with the Father.
Yeah. See, Yahawashi was that light. He was that example. Okay, he gave clarity to what the Most High wanted in the earth. You see that? And the Gentiles, those Israelite foreigners, started seeking after that. Okay? So now, let's get Isaiah 49:6.
This is Isaiah chapter 49, verse 6. And he said, "It is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel.
Yep.
I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles."
Now he's speaking to the prophets now. Okay? First he was speaking to Yahawashi. All right, now Yahawashi is speaking to the prophets. All right, in Isaiah 49:6.
I will
okay?
Also like
You got it, bro. Yep. So like,
I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth.
because through the words that coming from the prophets, through this message going through the prophets are being that light, that example of how our people should be in the earth. We are examples of what YAHAWASHI wants in the earth, just as YAHAWASHI was. That's why as we conform to YAHAWASHI, those, all right, of the heathen, our people now are pretty much in the heathenish way, the Greek fashion, okay? We become a light to them as YAHAWASHI was a light, okay, when he was here, man. You see? And what does that light do? It gathers those lost sheep. They're looking for that shepherd. Let's get Jeremiah 50 and 4.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 4. In those days and that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, and they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Lord their God.
They shall seek the Lord their power. Those are those heathens, but now it's calling them what? Israelites. Because now as we come back to who we are, we're Israelites seeking our power. You see that? That's putting a name on it, show you who will be doing that. So if this precept say heathen, and then this precept say Israelites, they let you know it's talking about our people that was living after the heathens, Israelites that was living after the heathens, as we was Israelites living after the heat, because we always been Israelites.
Right.
That's we're born Israelites. You see? But we was raised up and we admired, all right, the way, because America is nothing but the new Greek. We admire the American way. We admire American culture. We aspire to be these things within American culture. Being a rapper, a trap boy, a entertainer, athlete, those are all part of American culture that we admire. Okay? But then when we seen the light, we started seeking after our shepherd, YAHAWASHI. Okay, you had some?
Oh no, I'm finna get the definition. Since you talk about America, get the definition of westernized.
Oh yeah, for sure. Come. Yep.
It's the westernization. Well, this westernized on Google, it says to cause a country, person, or system to adopt or be influenced by the culture, economic, or political systems of Europe and North America.
No, Europe and North America, man. But there's nothing but the Greco-Roman Empire revived, man. Okay, the Roman Empire revived. You see? So there's no, when it says there's no difference between Jew and Greek, this is what it was speaking of, man. Our people that was Hellenized, man. Israelites that was Hellenized, man, that admired the Greek, the fashion of the Greeks, just like we came up admiring the fashion of the West.
It'd be like if you had some Israelites that always knew they was Israelites from birth. They had a lone little community.
Yep.
And we over here in the West, it'll be just like that, the same thing.
Yep. You have some people that was born into it, and then some people were what, man? This word engrafted us in, man. But we all Israelites.
Right.
Okay. And wild olive branch, they go into that as well, man. You see? We was cultivated in the wild. You see? We didn't have that structure of the law, statutes, and commandments to be cultivated in. We was cultivated in the wild, in the randomness of the West, because westernization is pretty much randomness, do as thou wilt. It's that wild olive tree, the same effect, man. Okay?
Like you said, it's wild because you can come up in any type of environment. The way this truth produces, it produces one type of environment, and that's through that system. But being over here in America, like you said, wild olives, being untamable. So you it's all different types. You really can't tame America.
Yeah, nah.
You can't tame the West.
No, and it's like the modern woman is an example. They're like trying to tame the modern woman.
Right.
Motherfucker untamable, man. Niggas are too, man. Niggas are untamable, man. The modern nigga and nigga woman is untamable, man. And that's why the Lord just finna run through.
It's not a set standard. So
yep.
That's why we're going back and seeking our power, because that's that set standard. And that's what's making us, now we're not going to be that wild olive no more.
No.
Because now we have a set standard.
We're being cultivated because we're coming back to our culture. You see?
Come.
So let's go back to that Jeremiah.
Jeremiah 4,
Yep,
50 and 4.
yep.
Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 4 again. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, and they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Lord their God. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, Come, and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten.
Yep, perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. And who is he going to make that everlasting covenant with? Okay, the children of Israel. YAHAWASHI, his blood, it says this is for the New Testament, which is the new covenant. Okay, that's for who? Israel. Let's get Hebrews 8 and 8. You see? So you had the Greeks came up to see YAHAWASHI. That was a prelude of us in this time, what would happen on a massive scale. Okay, as we were scattered throughout the earth and westernized, man. You know, because westernization has pretty much encapsulated the whole earth. You know, that's why you got South Korea like goddamn New York. You know, Seoul, South Korea, all these, Hong Kong, like goddamn Houston, Texas, man. You see? Go ahead.
This is Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8. For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
So go back to those same nation. Okay, the southern kingdom and northern kingdom, which make up one nation. And it was prophesied that, he was going to do away with those two nations of northern and southern kingdom. We was going to be one nation, man. Okay, the house of David represents the united, all right, nations of Israel, man. The united tribes of Israel, man. Okay, and they will come under the new covenant, all right, which was established through the sacrifice of Yahawashi, our shepherd, man. Go ahead.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers
Yep.
in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord.
Yep. So now that new covenant is for Israel. Okay. That's who will seek after, all right, the shepherd. Okay, because everlasting life is within that new covenant. No other nation is promised everlasting life, man, except the nation of Israel. And it's gonna be through the new covenant, which we're made perfect, man. It's gonna go to it. Go ahead, keep reading.
For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws in their mind and write them in their hearts.
Yep.
And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people.
So we're gonna be perfect. The laws are gonna be within us. Why would we have to rule the earth with a rod of iron if everyone was gonna be in the new covenant? That means that they will be perfectly righteous.
Right.
So what would the rod of iron come in at?
And who would we have to rule over?
Yeah.
Because us ruling over is us being leaders. But if they all perfect, then how we leading them?
Yep.
What we teaching them? And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities would I remember no more. And there's only one nation the Lord said he was going to ever forgive for their sins and iniquities. The Lord never said he was going to forgive the heathens.
Yep.
In that he saith a new covenant, he have made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away.
So now, as we transition into this new covenant through this grace period, all right, this is that time in grace where you have those heathens seeking their shepherd, Yahawashi, man. Okay? We're the only nation of people that have that sheep and shepherd relationship, all right, with the Son of the Most High, man. Okay? Let's go back to Jeremiah 50 and 5. You know? The sheep are being gathered through this word, man. The shepherd is gathering his sheep. Go ahead.
This Jeremiah 50 and 5 again.
Mm-hmm.
They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, Come and let us join ourselves to the Lord.
Come and let us join ourselves to the Lord. And that's happening now through our obedience, through our faith. We're joining ourselves to the Lord now. Okay? Everything we believe, think, Okay, all the hopes and expectation is all based on, all right, YAHAWASHI. We joined ourselves to the Lord. Go ahead.
in a perpetual covenant,
In a perpetual covenant. You see, perpetual, ongoing,
never ending,
never ending. Go ahead.
that shall not be forgotten.
That shall not be forgotten. Okay, but the Christian will tell you that's forgotten. Christian tell you the covenant for everybody. The new covenant is for actual heathens. No, he was speaking of Israelites. It clearly tells you exactly who the new covenant is for in the Old Testament and the New Testament. We read it. Okay? So let's get that Baruch 2 and 30 and read down, and we'll start wrap it up on that. Unless you had something else. If something else came to your spirit.
Just Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
Hey, them heathens will remember themselves.
Right.
In the land of their captivities. Those heathenized Israelites, which we all were, started to remember themselves. Go ahead.
And shall know that I am the Lord their God.
Yep.
For I will give them a heart and ears to hear.
Yep.
And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity.
And will give them a heart and what?
And ears to
hear.
hear.
Hold on, wait. We gotta go back to the first precept. What did it say about those heathens? All right, this is 2nd Ezra 2 and 34. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand. You see? Read that again.
At Baruch 2 and 31. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear.
I will give them a heart and ears to hear.
Your heart going to the mind
Your
to
mind.
understand.
So the Lord predestined all the elect, no matter what type of background and how Hellenized and how, Americanized and Westernized we were, to give us a mind to understand and to hear, to do what? Seek after Yahawashi, our shepherd, which is leading us to everlasting life. Go ahead.
And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity.
Yep.
And think upon my name.
And this happened in real time and showing you the importance of the name. Okay, and you can take that for how you want. But the scriptures say what they say. Go ahead.
And return from their stiff neck.
Yep.
And from their wicked deeds.
Yep.
For they shall remember the way of their fathers.
Yep.
Which sinned before the Lord.
Go ahead.
And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Showing you, it's speaking of a lineage. It's always going back to the same lineage.
Right.
He never changes that lineage, man. He always goes to those same three men, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man.
And he never just stop at like Abraham to
Nah.
include everybody else.
Nah.
Or stop at Isaac and now everybody else included.
Yep. Go ahead.
And they shall be lords of it. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished.
Yep.
And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God.
What? An everlasting covenant with who? With them to be their God. Go ahead.
And they shall be my people.
And they shall be my people.
And I will no more drive my people of Israel
Woo!
out of the land that I have given them.
This is what's coming, man. This is what's happening in real time. Okay? You see? These things are happening in real time. So when you go to 2nd Ezra 2 and 34 and you read that, Christian can use that and be like, see, it's for everybody. No, this is what that's talking about, man. Okay, our people that was heathenized, Hellenized, Westernized, okay, that began to believe on Yahawashi through the word, man. Okay, and this time we believe through, all right, the prophets was coming in the spirit of Yahawashi, man. Okay, so that's the point. You had something else, bro? Well, Lord will you brothers and you few sisters edified. Till next time we say Shalom. Kwam Yashala, Abba, DTA soon. Shalom.
Shalom.